What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reaction, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have Heathen. Yes, indeed. How about that? Heathen making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-bobbity bop, do me a favor. Before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Salo De Souza Jr. And Salo wanted to see me react to this song by Heathen called Fear of the Unknown. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, yeah, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Heathen, all right? And the video has 22,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Fear of the Unknown. That's all I got. I think it says Heathen up here. Looking at this logo and the name of the band, power metal or thrash metal? One of the two. I'm gonna lean more toward thrash metal. I'm willing to bet. There's no like swords and sorcery references, so I don't know if it's gonna be power metal. I'm gonna put my money on thrash. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Well, then again, maybe power metal. No, I'm sticking with thrash. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not changing my bet. Thrash. Okay. very heavy palm muting. I mean, as thrash metal goes, it's checking off all the boxes. Good speed, clean playing, a lot of palm muting. Like the palm muting really kind of reminiscent. I'm getting vibes because of the heavy palm muting. Kind of getting vibes of Overkill, if I'm being honest. It's definitely got that muted feel, clean, accurate, accented attacks, but very quickly muted. Very quickly muted, so that there's that little itty bitty gap. There's a tiny gap between the end of the first note and the beginning and the attack of the second note. So you can hear a very clear separation. It's there. It's small, but it's clear. Very Overkill-ish. Testament to some extent. I don't think any band had the palm muting that Overkill had. Oh, that was like Overkill's signature, along with Bobby's vocals. It's not bad. I mean, as thrash metal goes, it's not bad at all. I'm thinking of all the thrash bands I've heard in the past that, and no offense to these guys at all. They're, like I said, they're doing a fine job. But from a standpoint of impressiveness, there are so many thrash bands that just absolutely smoke these guys. I'm sorry, but there are. Overkill themselves smoke these guys. Megadeth smoke these guys. Anthrax smoke these guys. Metallica smokes these. Old Metallica smokes these guys. But like I said, though, they're not doing anything bad. Okay, I'm not finding anything negative to say about them. Even the intro, I know people are probably they're dying to know what I thought of that intro and that long intro. Here's the thing: the intro was broken up into two halves. If you look at the two halves, the first half set up the second half, and then the second half delivered us right into the arms of the main body of the song. The intro did exactly what an intro should do. Now, was it a little long? Yeah, a little long, but here's the thing. Like I said, it was split in half. There were two separate halves. And could we have done without either one of the halves? Okay, we could have done without the second half of the intro. We could have skipped it and gone first half of the intro right into the main body of the song. We could. It would have felt a little janky. It would have felt a little awkward, but it would have worked. But because we had that second half of the intro, it was a lot smoother. So, as much as I'm all in favor of trimming the fat, I gotta say, I think both halves are necessary. If you want to get the absolute best out of a listening experience, it just makes the most sense to have both halves. So, yeah, I know it's a little long, but it sounded good. So, anyway, let's keep going here. we switched it up to a sextuplet. Diddly 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 diddly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, diddly 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 diddly. Yeah, it's a sextuplet. Did we change tempo? We did not. So the tempo stayed the same. We went 1, 2, 3, 4. Diddly 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 diddly. So the tempo didn't change one bit. All we did was change from an eighth note pattern, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and to a sextuplet pattern. Diddly 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 diddly. Okay. It's good to switch it up a little bit, but here's the thing. Even that little switch up, it's still conducive. It's the exact same tempo. The chordal progression, very similar. We didn't change keys. We didn't change time signature. All we did was change subdivisions from eighths to sextuplets. Not bad. Not bad. It's perfectly fine. It still works. It still flows well. I wasn't sure if the tempo had changed or not. And as I found out, it didn't. So it flows well. It flows really well. Yeah, 708. That feels accurate. Feels accurate. I wish I could say time flew by, but no, it did not. But at the same time, by the same token, it didn't drag. So it feels about right. 708. Honestly, there's not a lot to talk about. There really isn't. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Heathen with Fear of the Unknown. This was a request from Salo de Souza Jr. Okay. Like I said, there's honestly, there's not a lot to talk about. So let's get to the score, and you'll see what I mean. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that a 7.1. Yep, 7.1. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 7.1. What does that mean? Well, a 7.1 would translate to a really good skill rating because overall, I think this was a really good song. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and a B letter grade. That's B as in boy. So there you go, a 7.1, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Did they do anything wrong? No, absolutely not. I didn't hear a single thing wrong throughout this entire song. Did anything they played sound bad? No, again, it didn't sound bad at all. It sounded just fine. Now, by the flip side, did they do anything that impressed me? No. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I really do. I wish I could honestly sit here and, say that I was impressed by something here, but I wasn't. There was absolutely nothing about this that was impressive. As thrash metal goes, this is pretty basic stuff. It is. You hear a lot of other thrash bands from like the early to mid 80s that just, I'm sorry, but facts are facts. They would absolutely play circles around these guys. Okay. But having said that, though, everything they did was solid across the board. The intro made sense. It was a little long, but it made sense. So if let's take the first half of the intro. If the first half of the intro was the exact same as the second half, the second half was the exact same as the first half, and we had 1 minute and 45 seconds of that, well, that may be another story. But because we evolved, the intro evolved within itself. So the first half and the second half of the intro, they linked. There was definite links there connecting the two. It led and evolved from one into the other, and then the second half led into the main body of the song seamlessly. Okay, it did exactly what an intro should do. Could you have either half of the intro on its own lead into the song? You could, yes, you could, but it wouldn't be as effective. I think the more I think about it, the more I am inclined to say that you need both halves. You do. It makes the most sense. It flows the best having those two halves, growing and evolving, leading into the main body of the song. And it did exactly that. The main body of the song sounded really good. I had no issue with anything I heard there. The switch up from straight eighths to sextuplets when we got into that breakdown section, that was nice. No change in tempo. That was the one thing I wasn't sure about. I thought when I first heard that transition, I thought to myself, it sounded like they might have slowed the tempo down a little bit. And that's why I had to go back and check. And as it turns out, I was wrong. The tempo didn't change at all. It was the exact same tempo. So that was nice. The guitar solos, expected. That's one of the signatures of thrash metal are guitar solos. Soloist number 1, soloist number 2, they come together and they harmonize, Follow the blueprint, boys and girls. Pretty much every thrash band does that. But they did it well. Again, I'm not complaining. They did a fine job of it. Yeah, they followed the same blueprint that everybody else follows, but everybody else follows it, so there's no harm, no foul. And they did a fine job of doing it. So again, no harm, no foul. Coming out of the guitar solos into that double time section, where we had the snare hits on the downbeats. Sometimes we also had the snares on the upbeats, and the drummer would switch between the two. Starting off with the upbeats, going to the downbeats, back up to the upbeats, back to the downbeats. And you could tell when they did, because when they would go to the upbeats, you kind of felt this artificial push. You felt this illusion of rushing, even though they weren't rushing at all. But because they were putting the snare hits on those upbeats, it gave it the illusion that we were, pushing ahead with the tempo. Vocally, sounded just fine. I got no issue with anything the vocalist did. Everything sounded very conducive to the style of music. The musicianship and the guitars and bass, couldn't help but notice the heavy palm muting, very similar in style to Overkill. But it was, again, it was done well, so can't complain about it. Listen, I don't have any complaints about the song. None. I mean, even the bass playing. I mean, unfortunately, the bass playing did kind of get buried in the mix after the whole band kicked in. But we did have the bass pretty prominently in the intro, so that was nice to hear. Overall, I think it's a really good song. I've heard much better from other bands, but as this band goes, so far so good. I have no complaints whatsoever, so that's why I'm giving it a really good score of 7.1. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.1, which is a really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, that did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.